Hey, what's up guys? Before the video starts, just a quick shout out to Mike Magic Man Cortez, who on my network app channel correctly guessed the type of event deck this was going to be. And it's also going to be his birthday soon, so happy birthday. Now on to regular programming. Hey, what's up guys? This is TBone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So in today's episode, what I want to do is talk about how to effectively use this deck for the Anniversary Part 3 deck and the correct activation order of the cards. And before we do that, what I want to do is go over the cards again and help you understand how to actually activate them. So going from right to left, we've got the Master Collection card, the Ultimate Form, Spirits United, and also the event card, Hearne the Huntress. Now, these three cards all have a single turn cooldown. And this is the key part. So these are the cards that will generate power gems only if the hunt status is active. And all of these cards will have a 1-turn cooldown, so you can activate them every single turn as long as you get at least 5 gems matched. And in order to activate the hunt status and to get the power gems, you need either the ultra rare card, the Spirit Caller Hetcat, or Hetcat the Summoner, which is the support card. Now, these cards have a longer cooldown. They have a 5-turn cooldown, but whenever you activate it, nothing will actually happen when you activate it until the next turn. Next turn, what will happen is you'll get a heal, and then you will also create power gems. And then it also applies the hunt status for that 1 turn. And so these are the 2 cards that you always want to activate before activating these other 3 cards. Now, the nice thing about this deck, this setup, that's a little different than the previous version of it, the Water Slayer deck, is that because it has a single turn cooldown for all of the 3 cards there, the event card, the ultra rare, and the ultimate form, it actually makes it a lot easier to play. And I'm going to show you how that works, because all you have to do is activate all of your cards every single turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few different bosses. I'm going to show them in action, and so we can talk about the correct way to play this. So first we'll take this team and we're going to go up against a Eternal guild boss so that we can take a look at the cards in action. In terms of the relics, what I did is I just put one of each of the past Dark Slayer relics in. But keep in mind that because this is also a Mystic card, if you have one, you can also use the Ceremonial Chris, which buffs the Mystic cards as well, and it generates a Power Gem 2 if you are lacking in relics. So let's go ahead and get started here, and we will talk about the activation order, as well as how much damage you can expect. Now, of course, not everybody will have the Ultimate Form or the Ultra Rare card, so what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways of sort of arranging your cards in your deck, and sort of like what combinations you could also try and use with the event deck here. So the first thing that you notice what I'm doing here is that I activated the first 4 cards on the right side here, just so that I could activate basically the hunt status. And now that it's activated, you'll see that all of them create power gems. I can actually create quite a bit there. So 7 from the Master Collection card, 7 from the Ultimate Form, and then 4 from the event card. And then what I'm going to do here is every time I activate, whenever a card is available, I'm going to go ahead and activate the battle skill. The thing here is you don't want to activate your support card and your ultra rare together. It doesn't actually stack very well, and so you don't want to waste it. Instead, what you want to do is you want to stagger it. If you stagger it because it has a 5-turn cooldown, then that means every 2 to 3 turns you'll be able to activate everything again. And what you can do in between is simply activate your event card and your Master Collection card and your Ultimate Form, so that you can continue to have gems created, and you're gonna get heals as well. So that's a really nice thing, is that you'll constantly get heals. And then you notice that the ultra rare ability was available just then, so we go ahead and activate that, and then the next turn we go ahead and activate the 3 cards here. So it's always basically a couple of turns later we will be able to activate the power gems. So basically every turn you're going to get some gem creation. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be regular dark gems or going to be dark gems. So this time I'm staggering it so that I go ahead and activate the support card the turn right afterwards. And now after this attack, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to generate power gems with these 3 cards. So you can see here, you can also use the chevron as a way to sort of have an indicator that the skill is now active. And we're probably not going to be able to take it out in this turn, but what we'll do is we're going to wait a few more turns here. Because I actually used my ultra rare card and my support card back to back, I'm going to have to wait 3 turns now before the next one is active. And so we're going to see it here, basically for between now and then, what I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to be activating everything. And so now that the ultra rare card is available, let's go ahead and activate that. And so you can see the icon here gives you a heal at the beginning of the next turn. So after we get attacked here, you're going to see that we're going to get a heal. So as soon as you attack, we come back to full health because of the heal amount. Now we're going to go ahead and create all of our power gems. And we should be able to take out the boss with this final attack here. And so this is the basic sequence. So you can see here basically every single turn we're activating something, and it's always going to be your Master Collection card, your Ultimate Form, and your event card. And then when you choose to activate your ultra rare card or the support card is basically when it's available, but you want to make sure that you only activate one at a time. So having seen the full event team, what I want to do actually before talking about different combinations is to talk about a particular kind of setup that you could try and use if you only have the event card and a support card. Now, I tried it with event card and a combination of 2 support cards, but I don't feel that it's quite as useful. So I'm trying it with just a single support card and a single event card here. And the goal here is to build more power gems and gems on the board. So I put in 2 copies of Soul Reaper. And I also have a copy of Ballistic Commander Cheetah, which creates 8 gems on the board, but it has a longer cooldown of 6 turns. So you can use other alternatives, you can do different combinations. And if you have cards that can generate 4 Power Gem 4s, that's going to power up Soul Reaper even more, and so I would highly recommend that. If you have Mouse King, for example, it's going to work really well. And what you want to do here is really just, try to increase the amount of damage that you can deal. So we're going to go up against Excalibur here, which is the guild boss here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the similar mechanic that we just learned. So that is, we want to activate our event card, Hearne, every single turn. And we activate the support card along with it. So that the very next turn, what we can do is we can activate the card again to get power gems. Now remember, you have to match at least 5 gems in order to get her to activate again. So now on the 3rd turn, we're going to go ahead and activate Hearne, and we're going to go ahead and activate Soul Reaper, and then we're going to activate Cheetah so that we can fill up the rest of the board with regular gems. And so we're at 397. We were able to deal about 70 billion damage with that output. Now, every single turn, what you could do is make sure you actually activate Hearne so that you get the cadence going. It's actually kind of nice to do this so that you will always sort of keep that muscle memory so that you can actually remember to activate every turn. And you can do some chip damage with Soul Reaper because it activates every 3 turns. And so what you can do is you can just activate them in between while you're waiting for Cheetah's ability to actually to be available again. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate Hearne and then the support card again, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate her and then Soul Reaper and Cheetah. We could have actually activated it 1 turn earlier. If you think about the timing, every 3 turns you can activate Soul Reaper, and then every 6 turns is when you can activate Soul Reaper as well as Cheetah, and then you can also activate this support card during the time frame. And so that's about 140 billion damage from that output right there. So that's actually not bad there. And so we're going to go ahead and activate Soul Reaper right now. We actually didn't match enough gems to activate Hearne, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and activate Soul Reaper just so that we can actually get some more power gems there. Now, we're not going to be able to actually we don't actually want to activate or actually get rid of all of the power gems there, because I think we could actually take advantage of that a little bit. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I think wait 1 more turn here. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate Hearne as well as the support card. And unfortunately a time right now, but with this particular setup here, we were able to deal about 140 billion, maybe close to 160 billion or so with this particular setup. So I think that's at least a viable option there. Now remember, in terms of the relics there, use the relics that'll give you the most number of power gems or the most amount of damage output. In my case, I could have put in a relic for God so that I could get 1 more power gem too as well. That would have increased the damage overall. Now, if you're looking to go up against the ultimate bosses, one of the teams that I would recommend is definitely putting in your Freedom Fighter if you have it, or Bio Blitzer into the deck, because this is going to give you the extra nuke damage that's going to be really helpful. Now, in this particular setup, I actually have the full team plus the shiny Master Collection card because I was able to get all of the collection cards. Like I have a single star ultimate form plus a shiny MC, so I have two Master Collection cards and the ultimate form that I'm going to be activating every single turn. And keep in mind that the ultra rare card can only be activated every 5 turns. But I can actually activate my Master Collection cards every turn, and I can activate the Freedom Fighters every 2 turns. So what you'll see what I do is I actually take advantage of that every 2 turns. So what I do is I will activate Freedom Fighters whenever I can, because it will actually create 5 power gems there. And then I help fill up the board with the Master Collection card in the ultimate form, so that I can actually get a little bit of chip damage, even though it's about 120 billion or so. But keep in mind that the nuke damage will then hit it for about another 600 billion. And so it does add up. And then 3 turns later, I'll be able to activate everything, including the ultra rare. So then the very next turn, I'll continue to then create more power gems, and then I can add the Freedom Fighters power gems into the mix as well. That's where I will deal the most damage. So you can see where once I activate everything, let's see how much damage that we can actually deal, including the ultimate gem here. So I believe every card deals about 1.2, 1.3 trillion, and so 2 trillion for the ultimate form and 1.3 for the Freedom Fighter, which translates to close to 6 trillion damage. And so this is a level 12 ultimate boss, and we're able to deal quite a bit of damage there. We're going to fast forward to the end here. We're going to talk about a different setup using a similar team for the level 13. So in this particular setup, the thing that's different here is that I've taken out one of the Master Collection cards and then put in a support card instead. The idea behind this change is to get more consistency in how often you can actually trigger all of your power gems from your Master Collection card in your ultimate form. And so on second turn, I activate the ultimate form plus the Master Collection card and then the ultra rare card. Then I do a gem match, and this is where then I'll be able to activate the Freedom Fighters, as well as the ultimate form plus the Master Collection card. Now, I am losing 7 power gem force total, so I don't fill up the board with power gems. So it is going to be a reduction of damage overall. But what I can do is I can actually activate this twice in a row. So you can see here, the very next turn, I go ahead and activate the ultimate form, Master Collection card, and then the support card. Continue to get my heal, and now the very next turn I can deal the same amount of damage right away. And so what this allows you to do is, if you can do quick matches, you can get less damage overall each hit, but you'll be able to do a little bit more basically you'll be able to do more of the same sort of amount of damage. The last team I showed, you basically would do one big damage followed by a very small sort of chip damage and then big damage again. With this one, it's a little bit less damage overall, but it's sort of more normalized across every 2 to 3 turns. Keep in mind that because of the 5-turn cooldown, you're always going to be staggered between 2 turns and 3 turns. And so with this particular setup, I am still able to take down the level 13 in one attack. And so it is a viable option, but this only really helps because I have the Freedom Fighters here. If you don't have Freedom Fighter, you could use Bio Blitzer, and if you don't have Bio Blitzer, you could also then put in another card that can generate more power gems. And then I believe in around the level 12 to 13 sort of area, you'll probably need to do 2 attacks and then more. So with the setup, you can do this in one attack, so you don't have to worry about the time. But then if you have to break it up, my recommendation is to then take a look at how much damage you can do in about 4-minute mark, 4.5 minutes. So then you can get used to that, and then you know when to break, so that you can extend your attack overall, so that you could actually deal more damage. I will probably have a more in-depth video on how to effectively take down ultimate bosses in general, but it's not going to be this video. This video just kind of talks about mechanics. So that's all for this episode here. Hopefully this helps you understand how to use this event deck, and also some basic ideas on what you can do if you don't have the full set. So that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.